Welcome to the best hour of their day podcast with your hosts, Jason Fernandez.
And me, Jason Ackerman. With more than 20 years in the business,
As both coaches and affiliate owners,
our passion is to help create world-class affiliates
and coaches by building
better
boxes.
Welcome to
The best hour of your day. All right, guys, we are back here with the PushPress gentlemen. Dan, Nick, thank you guys for having us. We are clearly at the CrossFit Games 2023 up here in the press box. What is this technically called?
Suite?
The suite?
The PushPress suite.
PushPress suite? Cool. Well, thank you guys for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us on.
It's just been cool to connect with so many people throughout the week. What day is it? Saturday? Yeah, I have no idea what day it is. So what do you guys have going on this week?
A lot of client meeting clients, hanging out with the people. That's pretty much what we come down for, is shake hands, rub elbows with the people we serve, the affiliate owners. Yeah.
Do you have any idea like how many clients you have here? Like rough guess?
Oh, there were 90 that said that they wanted a chance to come and meet with us here. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Are they you just have it open, just come in, hang out?
They book a time, come down, they get like an hour, hang out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people coming back through a few times, grabbing a few drinks. And
Any
going.
disgruntled clients? Be like, oh, I need to talk to you about.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You're going to want to grab a beer for this one.
We gave them the other link. We sent them to
they go to the different suite.
Suite 506
This
over
looks
there.
like a janitor's closet. So we had chatted before about just stuff that you guys are doing, and anything that impacts affiliates inside the CrossFit space is what we're interested in. Like, how do we do all of this better? We've had phone calls, but I'd be honest with you, I don't know the genesis of PushPress. And I don't know how far back we want to go in the Wayback Machine.
Let's go all the way back.
Yeah, but
What year were you born?
So I started off collecting baseball cards.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Where are you from?
Bay Area.
Bay Area, so you're a
like-
Giants fan?
I was an Oakland A's fan, actually.
Oh, Ricky Henderson?
even better.
Yeah.
We're back in Bash Brothers?
Bash Brothers, yeah.
We're about the same age then.
Yeah.
I had Mark McGuire and Canseco on the wall.
Yeah.
Ricky was my favorite, though.
Ricky was dope.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
I'm pretty sure he spoke about himself in third person. That's how good he
I'm
was.
pretty sure he's still playing at like 70. They
and
say
still,
like he
and
won't
still stealing
retire.
bases,
yeah.
by the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was my little league team. We were the A's.
Were you?
Yeah.
Did you try to? I was a second baseman, but I loved Ricky so much, and I was like, "Can you put me in center?" And like no one in little league hits the ball out into the outfield. I was like, "Put me back on second base."
Perfect.
Yeah.
Twiddling
Yeah.
thumbs.
We were like hoping you'd always. We were waiting for you to ask. Yeah.
But yeah, going back maybe a little too far, but the genesis of
Glad we got
PushPress.
that out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of started when I got divorced and I was trying to lose weight, because I was a single dude again.
Yeah.
And I was a computer programmer, and I kind of went through this process of trying to find the fastest way to lose weight. I found my way into a CrossFit gym.
And this is in San Francisco?
No, this was in LA. So it was CrossFit South Bay
Okay.
in the Torrance area, Redondo Beach or Hermosa Beach. And anyways, I stumbled into the gym. I realized in my first workout, I was like, what is this? This is like a new technology. I'm a technology guy, so I kind of saw CrossFit as a technology. I'm like, blew my mind how different it was from everything I saw. And from that first workout on, I'm like, okay, this is the thing. I see this as like a new big business opportunity. This is like 2008.
So even that early on in 08, you were like, not only is this great for my fitness, but this is a business opportunity?
Well, I was like, this is going to explode, because this is before there was a ton of gyms.
Right.
A ton of gyms. So I'm like, this is going to
This
explode.
is real early in the game.
and also, you've been
That's what
around for a long time then.
Yeah.
OG.
And I just immediately like drank all the Kool-Aid, like bought all the gear, got an L1, went to every seminar
You took your level 1 back then?
Yeah. In San Diego.
Nice.
And just knew right on, like I started like shadowing coaching classes. I started to coach. I helped somebody open a gym, just went down that whole rabbit hole. When we opened our gym, which was LAX CrossFit in 2010,
That's not Petranic.
No, that he
No,
did
that was
he did
LA.
CFLA.
Yeah.
Yeah. But first thing I did being a coder is I looked for software, and I was just like, oof, these are rough. Like not I knew what could be built and what was out there, and I was like, I can't use any of this. So I started to build my own, and I kind of cobbled together something for that gym. And I got embedded in the CrossFit affiliate. I didn't know there was communities of owners, and so I started talking to them, and they were like, "Hey, can I use what you're using? What are you using?" And I was like, "I can't. And I just built it for me. Sorry."
Were the questions then as bad as they are now? Were they always bad?
10 years later, it hasn't got any better, right? 13 years later.
Why couldn't you share that?
I just hard coded it for our gym, so it was like I just built it on top of WordPress.
I know what hard coding is, but explain.
I basically.
It's the opposite of soft coding.
How do you even explain hard coding? I don't even know. So I made it work only for my gym, and it was built on top of WordPress. Like I built a WordPress plugin. That's why we're called PushPress, because like we're a WordPress plugin from day zero, right?
You know that's a movement too.
Oh, I figured that out after.
So you hard coded it, and people wanted it. Was that the impetus to be like, whoa, maybe I should?
Yeah. So the people I was opening that gym with, were like, hey, let's roll with this. Let's build the software. In fact, Chris left. One of those guys from that first gym is one of my co-founders here.
And what's interesting to me is I think, Fern, maybe you're the same. You guys feel very new in the space, but that's
not
right. But that's older than most of the other companies out there.
Yeah, we launched it right after Wodify launched in 2013. It's just we're shitty marketers. Can I swear on this?
Fuck no.
It's too late.
Yeah.
We're just bad marketers, right? Like we build product and we build product and we build product, but we weren't like really great at marketing, and we grew slowly. So it took us, we're like 13 or 10 years into it, and some people were like, "Oh, I think I've heard of you once," So.
And you're like, how is that possible? So I mean, I know kind of the Wodify Genesis story, but like when you guys when you're looking at all of this, like what's the gap that you see when you're looking at it? Like, hey, I want to do this. This is what people are struggling with.
I mean, primarily back then it was simplicity, right?
Okay.
Like the software was very complicated.
It was basically MindBody Online.
Yeah,
it was like really the only player in town.
That's what I used after I went from cash and check. It went to MindBody.
Yeah.
And like we talked about earlier, it was overwhelming, that system. And you use like 3 functions.
Yep.
Yeah, it was wild.
So, I mean, the thing is, we had the luxury of building it after the iPhone came out, right? And again, I'm in the development space.
About that, yeah.
So I'm in the development space, and like to me, the obvious answer was you build it around an app store. 2013 was our first.
But the iPhone was 2012, I think, right?
2010, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
App Store may have been right behind.
Right. Okay.
Yep. So we built it with the mindset of like the iPhone. It's simple. It's like it comes with a few things prepackaged, but you start installing things to make it custom to what you want. And my theory was like most gym owners, like they'll piece things together as they want it, but to start, it needs to be simple. Right. And you don't want it. You don't want like all
gym
the
owners
options.
are like gorillas, and they like type with their
Mashing
fists.
Keyboard, yeah. But yeah, it's like the reason it was confusing is because they built every option into one form, basically, right? And you had to wade through it.
And it made it very hard to find the ones you actually needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the idea is like you turn on the apps you want, it enables that so that they can use it, and then they know it's there because they've turned it on. That was the Genesis kind of like idea. Still working on it 10 years later. It's hard. Software's hard.
And then
Well, you have to constantly be updating it, I imagine. Like I think what
see both their faces.
what normal people, meaning like non-programmers, non-tech people, don't realize is probably every time a phone, a computer updates,
Yeah.
it's
then
like
affects you guys and you have to
we're
go
all
through another
psyched. We're like, cool, our phone's got this new thing, and you're like, fuck, like,
Got something
we
else
got
to
to
do.
make a change.
Got something else to fix.
Our app broke.
Yeah. And I think what people don't realize about software is just imagine building a house. Like the first house build is like, it's fun and it's like you can put everything where you want it. And then you realize like you put the plumbing in the wrong spot because now you want to put a shower upstairs and you've got to replumb the whole thing. And it's like the second, third, like every iteration thereafter, it gets increasingly harder. So it's...
Yeah, because now I can't move certain things and I have to work around it.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I know things about hard coding.
Yeah.
You're hard-coded.
He's looking for a job. Are you hiring hard coders?
Yeah.
He's more of a soft coder for sure. So, how many iterations would you say you're at?
It's a continual thing, right? And so every time we release something, you have to go back and refactor something else that it touched or in another area. So it's a continual thing.
So at the time, you said Wodify launched, and then you launched shortly after. What were some of the things you're like, this is missing in the space, and there's room for us to come in here and be beneficial to affiliates?
I mean, I really feel like it was this concept of the platform of the App Store was the big one because that's what made everything difficult.
There's some hardware requirements as well.
Yeah.
We did a lot of hands-free in the early days, TV screens hanging on a wall to display class rosters, Amazon Fire Sticks, really inexpensive hardware in the early times.
Yeah.
So the cost of getting started was like super low.
Yeah, because that was, TVs were a foreign I mean, like nobody was doing that. They're like, we don't do tech here.
Right. It was plugging into
Watify
computers.
actually introduced that. They
Yeah,
did
they
a really good job
Yeah,
at
they did.
introducing that.
But before that, I mean, it was like the Stone Ages in most affiliates. Like you used
Logbooks.
zero
Logbooks.
tech for anything. I mean, it was the most you walk into a business and you're like, if I was going to evaluate this on a 0 to 100 score, you get a 0 based on your efficiency and technological advances. And you're like, what year is it they were operating? I remember like everything was like spreadsheets. Yeah, it was a disaster.
Oh, I think I've told this. Like, I would buy, every time a member would join, I'd go to the Office Max down the road, buy one book. And then eventually I was like, I'm doing this often. Like, let me buy 10 of these. But I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get more members. I don't want to be sitting on these books.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I just blew the budget.
yeah, but
Yeah,
and then
I'm
eventually
sorry,
it
guys, can't
became,
pay you. We got these books.
you know, using platforms like you guys. So you actually launched 2013?
2013.
What was your first affiliate? This guy back here, you said?
No. He was a co-founder
Okay.
with me. So my gym was the first one on PushPress,
Okay.
which was Torrance CrossFit. And then the second gym was actually Sam's, who now works for us.
Yeah, where's Sam?
He's not here.
Yeah, he's
What
super
box
tall
is
guy.
that?
It was Shadow CrossFit, but he went under. He sold it like a couple years ago.
closed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The and so that evolution, right? So it's 2013. When do you guys like make? Because I was trying to think about this on the way. Like, when did? Obviously, you're a known name in the space now, but like, when was like that coming out party for you guys? Like, at what point you're like, oh, like this is getting adoption that we see this has traction.
Oof.
What do you think?
5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like I run into people and they don't know who we
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
which is crazy. But I don't
Well,
know. I feel
if it
like
makes
it's
you
crazy.
feel any better, we're doing a podcast down in Vineyard Village. You're like, never heard of these guys. What are you guys doing? You guys do a thing? You're like, God damn.
You sell drinks here? And I think that's normal too.
It's
And I also
unrealistic
think
to
as
think
business owners, you
Yeah.
cling to that,
Right.
Yeah.
not the 10 people
Yes.
that are like, we love PushPress.
Yeah. I would say somehow we convinced him to come work for us. That was a monumental moment for us. Like
Why-
getting a random person to come work for us who actually was good at what he did.
What was your first role, and what did you do well?
Did you lie to him to get him to work
Sales
for you?
early
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Now, sales, marketing, and CX actually used a different platform. Was at a USA weightlifting certification, and there was another gym owner who said, like, "Oh, whatever you're using is way too complex. You need to go talk to these guys at PushPress."
What were you using?
Mind Body.
Oh,
So again,
Agreed.
Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
It was one of those things where like the staff would like have like post-it notes of like, hey, charge Fern for the protein that the Progenics, right? Like, and you'd be your credit card number like handwritten on a post-it note, and like, if it's too complex to where you can't even run retail through, we got to figure something else
So
out.
many hoops there to jump
I
through.
remember using my body at one point. I had to put every class in individually because, like, if you cancel, like, there was no way to just. I want to cancel Tuesday. It was like all of your classes are canceling, and there'd be a line through it on
Your
your
members
site.
are like, are we shutting down?
Yeah,
They're like,
I'm
no, I
like,
was just trying to
why
take an
can't I
afternoon
just-
off.
Yeah, why can't I just remove this one class?
Right.
And there's like always like workarounds, and it would mess something else up.
It was the simplicity, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need, as a small business, you just need your staff to be able to run it while you're away, and that just wasn't possible back then with a lot of different platforms.
The gym that I went to, CrossFit South Bay, still hasn't switched off of MindBody, and
To this day?
to this day. But I'll tell you why, because he actually typed up and printed a manual that's like that thick of like operations manual on how to use MindBody.
But you're like, if you need this, this is the issue.
But the crazy thing is, like, everyone there knows how to use it, and they haven't left. So it's like he's like, I'm not moving because everyone's got the manual.
I tried to make one of those. It didn't work.
No ChatGPT, then that's
Yeah,
why.
that's right.
that's
Hey,
that's
please help me.
yeah. So you came on what year,
Like 6.5 years ago.
and what was the pitch to get him on?
Or how did you know each
Yeah,
other?
you tell the story.
Yeah, so I was traveling like nonstop. It was one of those things where eventually you don't want to work for a big company and just travel half of the month. And then Dan makes a post on Facebook. We had become connected on Facebook like you do with random people, right? And he's like, I need some help on the sales side for PushPress. And being a sales guy and using the platform, I was like, oh, I can help for sure. There's a lot of improvements we
He's
can
like,
make, right?
hey, I got
And I'm
some
like,
bad news for you.
You're about to get a laundry list of feedback, right? And then turns out we just started like shooting the shit about what he needs in order to help grow the
What were
business.
you selling prior to that?
I worked in the rail division for Caterpillar. So
Oh.
I covered like Canada, Mexico, and short line railroads in the Midwest of the United States.
So
I was on the road
It was like,
nonstop.
yeah,
Not
'cause
even
you
close.
have, you have to be for that
Right,
job. Yeah,
right.
yeah, okay.
And I had invested into an affiliate, one that had like got me out of pain, like so many
Which
other
one
people,
was
right? CrossFit 913,
Where's that?
Kansas City. So one of those things where it was like a year in, business is about to fold, and I'm like, guys, you need some help. Let me help you.
This is the affiliate, not PushPress.
Yeah, the affiliate.
I
Right.
know you're
Just to
technically
clarify,
employee
yeah.
one. Are you
Yes.
employee one?
Technically.
Not including the founder, the
He's-
owner.
Right.
Yeah, there were some people that kind of came and went. Like when the early days of startup, people kind of come and go.
Yeah.
They're not really attached. He's definitely, the first person that's stuck.
But so the guys, like so many early affiliates, they hand me this spiral notebook and they go, oh, if you can help us, here's our finances. And it's just handwritten, the member names, and they had a system. But it was the hand names of who was due next month and then the scratch off if they had paid with cash.
For the record, this is not 1984 that we're talking about. Like this is 2013. What this is happening.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I opened in 2007, and it wasn't even then. At some point, it was like, oh, PayPal can do subscriptions.
Just thought about the old.
That was one of the ways because it was cash or check.
Remember the old credit card thing?
I
where you
never,
just-
I never had one of those.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
old. We're
That's
old.
basically the affiliates. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't even know what I'm talking about,
With the carbon?
No, but I remember,
with
like,
the carbon copy.
having to
Like,
learn
oh, I have
how
your credit
to.
card forever. Thank you. Yeah.
I had to learn how to do a subscription in PayPal, copy and paste the code onto my site, so you can do it on our site. But it was it was a pain in the butt. So anyway,
So
you
ended up talking with Chris and Brian, the two other founders, and was like, I'm in. Like, what do we need to do? And they said, we can't pay you anything.
Even better.
yeah.
Perfect. I'm
Like most good
going to stay at my
startups.
job for a while.
And somehow his wife was okay with this.
Oh, they would have retreats downtown LA to get Brian to actually work on the software. And one time I just flew out and met him, like knocked on the door, and they're like, dude, you actually showed up? I'm like, yeah. Said, I'm coming. Let's go. What are we working on?
They're like, we actually don't know. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Did you? Was there like equity or something? Was there an exchange?
Yeah.
So now you're a part owner as well.
Everyone at PushPress,
everyone at PushPress
everyone
now.
who's a U.S. employee here is a part. It gets equity.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's how we
I
do
didn't
it.
know that. That's cool.
What? Like,
How do I get
that's,
in?
yeah, I'd like to
Join the team. Come on, we need-
What's the percentage? What do I get?
Well, it's shares, right? It's not like
Sure.
there's only 100% to give away, so you can't give everyone, right? But
I'll take 100.
Same.
no, I mean it's one of our cultural beliefs is like ownership matters, right? So everyone who works here gets some options.
That's cool because I think one of the first times I noticed you guys, I think it was Facebook, but I noticed a lot of people were changing their profile pic with like a blue background.
Oh, like our headshots or something?
Yeah, that was one of the first times. And I have a friend, she's a former member, name's Allie Meacham, now Allie Cadmus. I don't know if
yeah.
you know her?
Yeah, she's in
absolutely.
our people ops department now.
Yeah, she's still.
great.
Yeah, this was years ago, and I was like, oh, that's. And I know Jacob very well, Hepner. But was that like something you purposely put together for that reason?
Just branding headshots and making sure it was some.
But I noticed like all of a sudden a
universal-
lot of people were doing it. I mean,
We just structured here. Here's your headshot. Put it in your email, whatever. Blah blah. And some people change their.
Yeah.
And it's in your signatures or whoever we've been emailing with. I noticed it's.
Oh, Annie has
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
But you know Allie. So what was? How do you? Allie's a salesperson.
No, she's on our basically our HR department. We call people operations.
And how many people work for PushPress as a whole now?
About 86.
Yep.
That's cool that you
That's a
are in
big
touch
team.
with everybody or know everybody out there.
Yeah, I want to keep the company small enough where we know everybody. I don't want to grow too big.
Do you guys have an office at all?
Nope.
No, everybody's remote.
100% remote.
Is that hard?
Yes.
But we're
It's
100% remote.
It's hard. Do you know how hard it is to work with you?
It's easier than if we were
imagine being
together.
in person.
Even in person. Even
I feel
in
like it's
person. Right now,
easier,
this
yeah.
is really painful. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's why
enjoying
it's
myself.
better apart.
Yeah.
Like we're separated by
It's
at
like-
least 10 states.
Internet is disconnected now.
Yeah. You're break.
Yeah. Oh, my internet's breaking up for. I gotta go.
But because I was thinking, I don't know, I referenced it earlier, but have either one of you read the book The Year Without Pants?
No.
So
He's really into this
it's
book.
not.
It's
It's
the
not.
WordPress
It's not
book
what you think.
mentioned,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's about WordPress, but talking about how it's a very much like everybody in the company is remote. Like there's no office. There's really like nobody even in charge, and when they do it. But it's like I guess in the tech world that's a lot different. But to your point, it is hard to build culture that way when everybody's remote. So how do you guys navigate that? I guess really.
I think the for a company like WordPress, yes, because they don't have a unifying thing. We have fitness.
Right.
So most of our employees either have owned a gym, currently own a gym, or are trainers, right? Or in Allie's case, like I guess she's coached a little bit, but she's into it too, right? So everyone
yeah.
connects around the idea that our customers are so important to us because they're a customer, or they go to a gym that is a customer, something to that degree, right? So that's how we've centered our culture.
Well, it's also, I would imagine, an advantage that all of you are essentially users of the end user, essentially. Like, you're all going to CrossFit gyms, and you do that, so you're plugged in. Well, that's not always the case in companies. They're like, yeah, I work for this company, but I don't actually I don't buy tractors or whatever. You know what I mean? So that's got to help.
There's a different level of empathy, and there's a different level of buy-in to the mission and what we're doing, and that really is kind of centers everything.
That's really cool.
What's the big differentiator between you and these other companies out there, other than like you're suggesting, like the buy-in, but from a usability standpoint, how are you guys different?
I mean, the goal in general with software is to get as much done with as little bit of time. So we actually, like, one of the measurements we make is like how little time do people use our software, which is opposite of what most software companies want you using it as long as possible, right? As sticky as possible. The owners we don't want in there as much as possible, right? So that's one. I think being completely customer-centric changes a lot of how we approach things, the products we build, how do we go to market with, and things like that. Like, even how we sell, What do you think?
Well, how do you sell? Yeah, I mean, so talk to me about that.
I don't want to say it's a no-sale sale, but we are not hesitant to disqualify someone that we can't serve.
What would that look like?
What would disqualify me?
Happens every day with a gym that needs, like a Globo gym that's just high volume, 24-hour access. They come to us and we say, like, look.
Do you get a lot of that?
We do.
You'd be surprised.
We do.
Well, like even to speak closer to home, like until maybe 6 months ago, our appointments features sucked.
There you
right?
go.
So if you came in and you were very strongly PT, we might say, hey, you know what? A better option for you might be competitor X. Right. And that's because we're basically playing this infinite game. We're like, we'll refer people out because if you still feel good about us when we build appointments,
you come back.
You'll know we didn't do you wrong, right? Or you'll tell your friends or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
a no is not a no forever. It's like we tell people.
Yeah.
And then with regard to like, what are you guys trying to? If we fast forward 10 years from now, what are you guys looking to have? I'm gonna keep going back to, like, he's like, we don't want him to use it. I'm like, it's so weird for me to hear.
No, but it makes sense. If you're doing a good job, it's like
should
CrossFit,
be easy,
right?
Yeah,
Like,
it should be easy.
You don't need to be here for 3 hours because what we're giving you is so potent.
Yeah.
It works so well. Go home and do the other things.
Yeah.
Same for you guys. Like, we don't want you to spend all day here because you have more important things to do if we're doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. All the things that make an affiliate owner want to start an affiliate, that's what we want them to do.
So what are some of the features within PushPress that allows an affiliate owner to spend less time in PushPress?
Yeah, so like plan landing pages, make it easy for someone to sign up. New appointments functionality, reminders, and recurring appointments.
We ask these guys to keep it down.
Yeah. Tell them to slow down over there. Yeah.
Recurring appointment.
Built a social feed, so you don't have to manage a Facebook group and decide whether or not you want to.
A social feed within there.
Correct.
Our member app, yeah.
Yep.
And do you find that gets used a lot?
Not as much as we want it to, and we're going to keep making it better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard to just play with the big boys in that. It's just like they've already got one social.
They've already got
platform.
Tinder. They've already got all the dating.
Swipe left.
You talk about Tinder a lot. Why don't you talk to your wife about that?
I do. She doesn't know I'm on it, so don't tell her.
He said tender.
So, that, like Fern said, that we've seen people try to come into that space, but it is cool to have that option.
It is valuable. I would imagine it's one of those things, better to have it than not.
The way that we look at it is if there's a pain that we felt as affiliate owners or as gym owners, then like what was the thing that we repeatedly got hung up on?
Right.
And so the inception of the social feed was like, well, this person was a member for 3 years and then they moved. Do we keep them in or do I keep them out?
We get that question.
Oh man, let's keep them in. But then the next one was a member for 2 years.
We didn't like him.
Right?
We didn't like it. That's more
Right.
importantly the case.
Dan annoys me, so he's out.
So Nick, for you, when Dan's trying to bring you on, what were like one or two of those things where like, man, do this because this was always a pain point?
Oh, most of my stuff was hung up on the sales side. It was how leads got processed, and because that's what I built my career.
It's a huge problem.
What I hear about you guys is that, like, as far as like CRM type of stuff goes, that you guys do that really well.
Yeah. So
Meaning he means from clients.
From
our client, yeah. Like whenever I'm like, oh, you should use MailChimp or this or that. They're like, well, PushPress has that.
Right, and that's another thing, just being familiar with the industry. So we've all done, no sweat intros. We've all talked to new members that are going to join the gym. So then you understand how to write content to that persona that's looking to join a gym, and we can distribute that on behalf of gym owners.
Yeah, because you guys have started doing a lot of that recently. Like I get a lot of your emails with you guys are doing a lot more education or more.
Just a lot more help first.
Yeah. Just like, hey, here's examples of stuff that you could do. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
cool. Yeah.
Is that the difference between PushPress and PushPress Grow?
So Grow is just the CRM. It's opportunity management, lead management,
Lifecycle management.
And
member re-engagement.
A client or an affiliate can just sign up for PushPress, or they can upgrade. Or
They have to have core. So it's like a hub and spoke, right? Like core is the main piece that controls everything. Then you have Grow. Then you have Train. We do a custom branded app for gyms. They want their logo in the app store.
Somebody just showed me
you
theirs
get
the
their
other
logo,
day.
right?
Yeah,
That's
one
cool.
of our affiliates. She just like, look at this, and I was like, looks sharp.
It's cool to feel like you're in the app store.
Yeah.
right.
Well, and where did that come from? Just all of these are coming from feedback from clients?
Absolutely. Feedback from clients and then our experience within the industry and saying like, you know what? Like you're an affiliate owner. Your brand's freaking important. Put it out there. Like let people download your app instead of like, the PushPress app.
And they just go, their affiliate name appears in there?
Yeah, it's like their logo.
Like
It looks sharp. It
White
looks
labeled
good.
app basically though
Yeah.
through PushPress?
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
What do you?
But
What
for
do you
Apple,
guys?
if Apple's listening, that's not what we do.
They're always listening. They're always
Send
listening.
You send it around
As is the FBI.
We just help the affiliates create their own app.
That's right.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. What do you guys? Because obviously, how many? Oh, I guess I don't know. How many gyms do you work with? We'll say CrossFit affiliates, if you know.
1,000.
Okay.
Ish.
That's great.
Yeah. That's
And
a
then
lot.
do you work with other type of gyms? What's your number two?
So we launched PushPress free like the Black Friday before COVID. And when that launched, all of a sudden we would get like a fencing studio.
You got a fencing?
Yeah, we have our private pool club in
Why
Nashville.
are you upset with fencers? Why do you hate
I was just
fencers?
say we've got like
think it's weird
mermaid
that you
swim
hate
schools.
fencing.
Right. Oh, mermaid swim schools.
I was just say we have everything. Mermaid swim schools, like
What's the
basketball
most
academies.
obscure type of?
I feel like mermaid swim school's right up there. Yeah.
Oh, because I go to a mermaid swim school. I thought that was
He's like,
normal.
that's normal.
No, but you were saying, you have a wide variety.
A wide variety that the kind of the free platform has attracted us to these other verticals.
They're verticals that are so small, no one will build software for them.
Exactly.
But they need something.
And they can actually use it for free. You're saying free? Is it? It's free.
It's free.
You make no money.
We make money through the payment processing side.
Okay, so but I can open a mermaid school, which is, by the way, friend, I have to talk to you about
Yeah.
this.
You have a business
I'm
opportunity you
gonna
want to
quit
pitch.
Best Hour.
Yeah. I get it.
But you're not involved.
My daughter loves mermaids, so I might be.
Logan is.
For the graphic of this, can we put a fin on him?
Listen,
Like right
Careful,
here.
don't have
Yeah, yeah.
Cody doesn't know. But if a mermaid school or fencing school, I can download PushPress and then
We're
use.
not downloading apps, or we're not down. It's cloud based, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, but I
Do
can
you know what
use.
the cloud is? It's kind of like hard coding.
We give you a CD-ROM. You can take the CD-ROM and
Yeah, but I can use the platform for free, and then obviously.
payments. Yeah.
But that's really cool because I think for new entrepreneurs, new business owners, that's a challenge. It's like Square or Stripe, like they're trying to use these. So to know there's a platform that they can use
Yeah.
with just the processing fees, which you're going to get hit by no matter who you use.
Right.
It's a great jumping off point.
And it was another one of those ideas that was kind of born from our experience of opening gyms and thinking like, man, I had to pay for this software
Right.
for 4 months before I even had my first
Right, and
client.
it's not cheap.
Right. So instead, why don't you launch a free platform, give them every tool that they need, and then as they ascend through their business life cycle, they'll
You'll
upgrade to
need
the
more
paid
of these
version
things,
and they'll need
yeah.
more features and functions.
What would probably be one of the first or second reasons they're like, oh, I need to, like, I've hit my limit in what I can do with the free version?
Normally, it might be some integration that they're looking for with like Slack because they hired a staff and now they want to communicate with them a little
Right.
bit different or whatever it might be. Or it's their payment processing volume has exceeded to a point
Yeah.
where they can tick it down a notch by paying for the going with the paid
So
platform.
by upgrading their
Right.
processing fees drop
Yeah.
a little bit.
So there's a natural ceiling in the free, and what I love about it is it encourages us to help them grow because we
Because
grow
you
them
want
off,
to do
right?
well but you have a vested interest in
Yes.
their success.
Exactly.
And I think, that's I didn't know that about you guys. That's really cool. That's why we're here.
That's
we're
why
here to
we're
learn.
here.
Yeah, we're here to learn. Well, and
We're not here for the potato chips. I can tell you that.
I am
Well,
going to need
Fern
some of
is.
those pretzels, though. Need some carbs. And that was come to talk to you guys because obviously we have worked with a lot of clients and like PushPress. And I'm like, I'm like quasi familiar with it. It's like in my best interest to know so that I can help you run a better gym and all that kind of stuff. What are some of the things that you're hearing from affiliate owners with regard to like, hey, I'm struggling with this. Is this something that you can help me with? Obviously, it's a lot of what you guys are doing is client interaction and data, but is there anything specific you're starting to hear a lot of?
Yeah, I think a lot of them is lead generation. Sometimes it's conversion. So we have some great team members that are amazing. Rudy here in the background is great at helping gym owners understand how to convert better. Same thing
down
with
in Tejas.
Yep. And so conversion is always one, but then you also get like, I just don't know how to do a price increase. Like, tell me what's the right way. I'm a little scared. I'm going to, end up churning someone else. So we have a great success team, and we partner with, other kind of mentors and advisors in the space to help.
Yeah, because you guys work
content.
with are you guys doing some stuff with Stu, or you are? Yeah. Okay.
Stu's done a bunch of coursework for an initiative that we call Push Start, which is kind of the educational arm of PushPress.
Got it.
So
Yeah, when you're ready for the majors, you come to us. Stu's good though to get started for sure.
Say when.
Say when.
Yeah. The so the lead gen thing is always really interesting to me. Because I'd be curious if you guys, when you're having that conversation, we very rarely find that there is an actual lead gen problem. Like, I'll pull up the website and I'm like, oh, I think I figured it out. They have no way to give you information.
Can't figure out where to go. Yeah.
Let's start there. Let's make a contact us form that gives the form its name, email, phone number, and that's it. And the other, or the other direction, which is like they hit that button and it goes into like, hey, I'm gonna have you sign this 48-page waiver. And we're like, name, birthday, first of kin. What's your daughter's middle name? And I'm like, dude, what? This is too soon. Kiss her on the first date, man.
I was going to say they have a follow-up problem. They get
well,
the information.
that's where he's going.
That's before.
Yeah.
That's before. And I'm like, hey, you have a lead gen problem. How many leads did you get last month? They're like, I mean, yeah, it's, and I'm like, well, I think we figured out that too. And I'm like, let's start with that. I'm like, if you don't know how many leads you have, it's going to be hard for you to convince me you have a lead gen problem.
Right.
But it sounds like what you guys have there is like a kind of very natural built-in process where like you don't drop those as they come through.
Exactly.
Which is important. It's one of the first things we teach people. I'm like, you just got to track them first. Like, if I know that 10 came in, 5 of them booked consult, well, I know the first question is like, what happened to the other 5? Did they not contact me? Did I not contact them? Did they cancel? What do I have to do now in order to make that happen?
Right. Yeah, and then Grow helps enable, automate as much of that as you can or maybe want to.
Right.
Obviously, I'm a
the
big
beauty
fan
of that
being on the
platform
phone,
is it's kind of like Mind-Body Online. Like it has an immense amount of capability. And it's like, but it's really good. I do think it's one of the better platforms out there for managing client interactions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The problem is it is a little bit of a steep learning curve.
It is.
Sell me on Grow. When would someone who's no longer using the free version, so we're using Core, when's the right time and why should they go to Grow?
I think every gym needs Grow, even brand new ones.
How come?
Professional website, kind of what you pointed on.
So you then
managing leads is the most important thing.
So it's the lead creation piece. Well, it's a place for them to find you, right? And then making sure that the forms are professional, that they work, that the responses are tuned in to what the clients or the prospect's going to be looking for. Notifying staff members, hey, you have a freaking lead. You should pick up and call this person, right? We've even had clients that have built in just an auto caller. So it's like a lead comes in, your phone rings. All you got to do is answer it, and it's calling the lead back on the other end.
And you're like, who's this? They're like, who's this? You called me.
You called me.
But so, I mean, if you can be attentive to every person that's interested in your business faster than the others in the area.
Marcus was talking about this yesterday. He was giving a talk in the lounge, and he said, hey, when a prospect reaches out to your gym, on average they reach out to 2 to 3 other gyms, and they don't go to the nicest one, they don't go to the closest one, they go to the one that called them back first.
Right.
So and it's like, so you got to be first. And I think that may have been oversold at some point. Over there, like, yeah, you got to call people back in 60 seconds. Like, to some degree, that's true. Mm-hmm. Right. Like timeliness is a thing. Right.
It is.
And going back to like gym owners, I'm like, did you call the person back? Oh, well, we'll do it about every 2 days. And I'm like, ooh. 2 days.
They've already joined a gym.
Yeah, they're joined a gym already.
Yeah, when someone reaches out to you, they're experiencing some sort of emotion
at that moment.
And the faster you can respond, the faster they'll join.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge deal.
So getting your phone to ring when someone reaches out is probably a good thing.
Yeah, literally just calling back can improve your conversion rates 30 to 40%.
Exactly.
With no more increase in your leads.
And that is all the difference in a successful gym and a not one.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And easily covers the cost. One new member,
does it?
I'm sure covers the cost of Grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, depending on your pricing strategy.
For sure. But
I know you
it's
know a thing
helpful.
or two
It's
about
helpful,
that.
yeah. But it's moving it in the right direction.
Oh, we like to give them the first 6 months free because we don't yeah.
Grow is costing me money.
What are you guys excited about moving forward?
Got a new application launching here soon. We're combining our performance tracking and our members app. So that's a pretty big deal. We've been working on it for a while. So excited about that.
Yep, and we're going to be digging deeper into that App Store concept. I didn't mention that in this one. I've been talking to so many people. So we're building like a platform which is going to allow other people to extend or us to extend the functionality of PushPress a little bit deeper. We're going to be working pretty hard on that too.
Like what?
Like your phone. Just imagine your phone. Like you install your phone, it's got the core stuff installed, and you start downloading
So you just
Tinder.
drop. Perfect.
I've deleted it.
With an E. Like what would be an example of that they would what? Like you would drop in there?
So like we're early on, we integrated SugarWOD and Beyond the Whiteboard.
Right.
As apps
That's-
and
So you're saying you download PushPress and these other apps are already
extend the functionality
within it.
Yeah. So that stuff's like future. Like we've kind of got the guts of that ready, but we're going to be pushing really hard on that next year. Yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
Is that something that you guys have seen into the future on that, or you get a lot of requests for things of that nature?
I think it's just one of those areas where trying to keep up with the pace of tech is virtually impossible. And there's a lot of smart people in the space that are building their own, Dan would call them like micro softwares that serve the fitness space. And so if a gym owner can use Core as their hub, and then there's some genius idea on the outskirt that we didn't think of, it allows us to play nice with others as well. So, and then that power is then harnessed by the gym owner to solve whatever problem they're looking to solve.
Right.
It creates like a 1 + 1 = 3 type of situation. Like if your payroll software works with PushPress, and every time someone coaches, it's throwing payroll entries into the payroll system. You don't have to do any of the work. Payrolls are getting created.
Once again, going back to what you said earlier, less time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Less time using the app. What's your goal? How many affiliates would you like to be working with?
All of them. Everyone.
For sure, but if you're at 1,000, what maybe 2024 goal?
Strictly CrossFit affiliates?
Yes.
I don't know.
Another 1,000.
Another 1,000?
Double?
2,000?
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely, like I said, have seen it of recent. With our clients, I would say you're definitely what I would refer to as the big three in the CrossFit space, right? Wodify, PushPress, Zen Planner, and you've grown. Every time we get a new client, we talk about what platform they're using, and I hear PushPress more and more.
That's excellent.
When did SugarWOD come out, by the way? Which one, like chicken or the egg? You guys are SugarWOD?
They were after us.
But they're very different.
No, they are different, but that's mainly when I hear that is like when somebody like a gym uses SugarWOD for their programming, it's plugged into PushPress. Like that's how I
feel like they were like
essentially became aware of it.
2015-ish, 2014.
And do you have plugins for that? For SugarWOD?
We have an integration with SugarWOD.
Yeah, an integration. That's how I learned about it, because when people were using SugarWOD, but it was just workout or distribution of programming essentially. I was like, what? And they're like, oh, we use PushPress, and I was like, oh, okay. So
within PushPress, is there a workout tracker
There is
unique
now.
to
Yep.
PushPress?
Yeah, and that's the new app that we're launching.
Okay, that's-
So basically, early on, we had like an integrated approach. So we had the gym management side, and then we integrated with Beyond the Whiteboard and SugarWOD for the performance tracking side. Then we went off and created our own performance tracking.
Again, just simplify and
Yep,
streamline.
exactly.
No need to link things up.
Yep.
No
Well,
need to.
we've left the other two in because
some still.
we believe in competition, and we believe what's best for the affiliate. So I'm not going to gouge them and make them use ours if they're Beyond the Whiteboard lover. or
also,
something, right?
I mean, some of that would be if you didn't give them that option, they might leave.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Where they'd be like, hey, well, you can keep that one if you want it, but you can still use this version of it.
Yep, absolutely.
So-
And that's the whole concept behind the hub and spoke model. Whatever the gym owner thinks is best. If
I don't know.
As long as
I
we
don't know
can
if I would
support
go
it.
that far.
Well, if they love the user experience and we haven't leveled ourselves up to give it, that's what I mean.
Right. No, I'm just joking. What's been your biggest hurdle?
Last year I would say it's growing the team. We raised a Series A with the venture firm, and you want to use the money.
Right.
So we grew the team pretty fast, and I don't think we were ready for a lot of the communication and departmental challenges that come with that. That was interesting. That's been a struggle, or was. I think we're pretty course corrected there.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what you guys mentioned earlier about being remote. You double the size of your team and you're 100% remote, and you'll fall in some traps for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
So-
particularly at the pace that
We were trying
tech
to
is
go.
moving.
Yeah.
That tech is moving at that point.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd say that'd be the big one.
Yeah, just getting product out there, making sure we're continually making the product better and we're going in the right directions, talking to, that's why this stuff's important, because people come in and they tell us what they want, what they need, what they love, what they don't love, and our whole product team's here and they're taking notes.
How many of your team members do you have here this weekend or this week?
I'd guess like 13.
Yeah, something like that.
That's cool. Anybody local to here by chance?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sam's the closest. He's like a couple hour drive.
Okay.
Few hour drive.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Who's gonna win? What's going on?
No.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
Oh, Olympic total.
There we go. Olympic total.
Oh, well timed.
I think the schedule is ladies, then the gentlemen, and I think the teams go last. I think is how that breaks out.
Interesting.
I'm pumped for this.
Yeah.
Well, we will let you get to watching it. What's been one idea that an affiliate owner has come in here, gave you an idea, and you guys looked at each other and be like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard?
I thought you were going a different direction with that.
I knew where he was going. 'Cause I was like, he's going to throw a curveball in here and be like, hey, that we didn't think of, but he threw they're dumb. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And please give their name.
Yeah, we want to know their gym name. Yeah.
I don't know that they come to us with a lot of maybe bad ideas per se. It's more like, can you do this? And then this is why. And maybe this isn't a good way to solve it, but the why,
The why
is a valid
makes
problem.
you think about it.
Yeah.
Correct. And it's like, well, but what if we adjusted it to solve your problem like this? And it's like, So
Kind of like like at the mastermind. Look, we had a mastermind in Denver recently, and one of the pieces is everybody has a hot seat, right? So you come in and like, here's my problem, here's my questions, and everybody, you start asking them questions, and then come to find out like that's not their problem at all.
Yeah.
You actually have a marriage problem. Like, that's what, like, you don't need more members. You need a different wife. But by digging through the layers of the onion,
Right.
you get to the real root of the problem. And for you guys, that must be fun because now you can say like, oh, we can solve that. It just looks
Just
this.
Yeah, just not the way that you think it is. Here's a simpler version.
That's one of the product team's mantras is like, come to us with a problem, not the solution, and then let us figure out the solution.
Well, especially going back to what you said earlier, with all the hard coding, like, and I'm being serious, like, that might not even be feasible anymore. Or it's like completely, like, we'd have to, dig out the foundation to create that solution.
Yeah. And just in case any technical people are listening, nothing's hard coded now.
We're gonna Google hard coding after this.
Pretty
and find out
sure he's lying. It's hard. But you don't want things to be hard coded because that makes it harder to adjust.
Yeah, I mean, hard coded is like.
I really hope what you're saying makes no sense.
Does that make any sense?
No, it does. Hard coding is like painting yourself into a corner, right? Like you're creating an infrastructure that you can't get out of.
I can't change it.
So how does I know the answer, but for the listeners, how do you go from hard? How do you go from hard coding to removing it?
So the concept would be like hard coding would be like specifically, I don't know, saying this Rodecaster here can only work with these headsets.
Right.
But instead, we're going to standardize these ports and use these wires that everyone else uses, and you can interchange any headset. So it's just building the interfaces so they're interchangeable, or they work on variables or whatever.
Adaptability.
Right?
There we go.
I like that. Well, it's been great talking with you guys.
Likewise.
I'm excited to learn more too, because our primary goal is affiliates first, like Fern said, and we want to help affiliates do whatever's best for them, and having more options in this space is what's best for affiliates.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah, it's good talking with like-minded people who are really trying to help these affiliates
And other
grow.
coders.
Hard coders.
Hard coders. Yeah. But no, thank you for guys what you do. I think it's important that, and this is what I love about the CrossFit space generally, is like the companies that are successful are CrossFitters. They care about the affiliates, and they're always pushing the ball down the field, and they're always thinking about like, hey, because you guys have said it several times in this podcast, what is best for the gym owner? How do we fix that?
It's the only way to stay in the space.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get ferreted out very quickly if that's not the issue, or if that's not the case. But that's one of our main filters. And anybody comes to us with an idea, affiliates first. If that is not in the best interest of the affiliate, we don't even talk about it anymore. And I'm like, that's a money grab. I have no interest in that whatsoever.
Right.
Like, that's gross. Get out of here, and you're gonna get found out real quick, and it's not gonna work out for you. So
The money grab thing really pisses me off. Like
it pisses everybody off.
On my side,
yeah, and it's the CrossFit community is uniquely sensitive to that. Like when somebody shows up, everybody's just like, look at this. Son
Last
of a
thing to
bitch.
say, we've got a great bullshit meter
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. So thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's always
thanks for having us
cool. And we enjoy working with affiliate owners just like you do, and anything that we can do to push bigger, better, more affiliates, everybody wins at that point.
Absolutely.
So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thank you. We're going to watch some heavy lift.
Oh, yeah. Stick around and watch from here.
Yeah, way more weights than we can lift. You for sure. But yeah, if you guys, where should they reach out to you guys if they're interested?
PushPress.com.
PushPress.com.
Yeah, everything's on there.
One word.
One
One
word.
word.
Yeah.
No
space.
underscore.
Double capital P's.
Well, I think they could type it in either way.
Even when you program it,
Yeah.
remove the space.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And we'll end there. Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.